Right, hello everybody and welcome to episode 22 of the Hull City Career Mode. Yes, I know it's been a while, but we're back regardless. And hopefully the break has got you a lot missing it, so hopefully it'll get a few more views. Anyway, we start off with a manager offer from Brighton, but we decline that, and that's the table heading into the first game of today's episode, West Ham at home. Now, the footage for this game is a bit jumpy, so you can see there we do take a 1-0 lead. Keane Lewis Potter gives us that. And yeah, the footage continues to be jumpy throughout this game. Reece Burke finds Nico Williams, then that magics to Keane Lewis Potter, who finds Malik Wilks. He makes it 2-0 as we face top of the league in the first of our two top of the table clashes today. Somehow the ball's teleporting everywhere. Keane Lewis Potter makes it 3-0. And then this is where it sort of calms down slightly, I think. Pasalic beats his man, plays it through to Fornals, and you see the first of the 4 goals actually hit the back of the net there. Nothing I can do about that. My Elgato just messed up a little bit. It all just went a little bit hunky-dory. Anyway, moving on, West Ham made it 3-1 with Fornals there. Then just after the break, they would whip a free kick in. It would be cleared. Jared Bowen would play through Artem Masuaku, and that's a howler from George Long to make it 3-2. So West Ham coming back into it. And when they started doing this, I absolutely feared the worst. Jacob Greaves tries to do a turn there. Bowen dispossesses him. And from this point on, you know Bowen isn't going to mess about. He finds Souček. Souček lays it off to Pasalic, and it's 3-3. We were 3-0 up, and we absolutely threw this away. But there was still time. It's the 53rd minute. There is still time in this game for us to do something. Jacob Greaves plays the ball forward, stays down, but Lewis Potter plays through Flynn Downs, and Downs scores in the 60th minute to take, well, as we would take the lead again. And Greaves couldn't continue, so I subbed him off because he wasn't running the injury off. Then Fleming would lose possession there, a bit of a stray pass. Antonio would chip it over to Felipe Anderson. Reece Burke would stand him up. He'd play it back though to Vladimir Kufal, who'd ball roll Burke. Clark would clear. It's not adequately cleared enough though. Declan Rice finds Fornals. He finds Antonio in a bit of space. And it's 4-4. 4-4. How? How has this happened then? It was a very even game, but still a shame to bottle that. Anyway, the next game, we would again be at the K-Com. It'd be at the second of our top of table clashes. We would face Aston Villa in this game. We would take the lead in the 6th minute as Jack Byrne would drive down the right after being played through by Dan Batty, and he'd finish it off, put it past Emiliano Martinez in the far corner. And for the rest of the game, we were defending well, just not here though. A stray pass from Nico Williams intercepted by Douglas Luiz. He plays through Ignacio Fernandez. He signs Mbwama Ali Samata. Samata goes back to Fernandez. He finds Traore, who slips it in at George Long's near post in the 66th minute to level the game for Aston Villa. And that would be, wait for it, that in this game. Villa had way more possession, but we defended very, very well, and Greaves broke his metatarsal in that game. And was it? Yeah, I think it was the West Ham game. I've made a mistake there. Was it? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, Greaves is out for 2 months with a broken metatarsal. Yorkshire Derby time then. Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough. Callum Patterson played through, finds Donnarumma, who finds Adam Reach to make it 1-0 to the Owls. Not the start we were looking for in just the 6th minute. And at half time, I made some changes. I've made a couple of changes. Notably, though, Antoine Semenyo. And just wait and see the difference he makes. Keane Lewis Potter plays it to Semenyo. Back to Lewis Potter. His shot is blocked, but Semenyo picks up the pieces to make it 1-1. I mean, Semenyo, when he came on, was just absolutely excellent. He was out of this world. Sheffield Wednesday corner. Played behind for another one. Another Sheffield Wednesday corner. Cleared by Scott. Jack Byrne is in prime position for a counter-attack. He's got Keane Lewis Potter with him as well. If he needs the extra support, he keeps going. He keeps going. He keeps going. He doesn't have to stop. Cuts inside. And on his left foot, he puts in at the near post to give us the lead. You could call him the new Diame. Sucker punch for Sheffield Wednesday, that. It wouldn't be all plain sailing though, as Dawson would fire a free kick from an offside up to Donnarumma. He'd head down to Castro. Luongo would then play through Callum Patterson. He'd find Kadeem Harris. Harris would beat Reece Burke. He'd then play it to Luongo, who'd find Donnarumma in free space. And that would be 2-2 at Hillsborough. End-to-end game, this one. Very, very much end-to-end. I didn't mind it though, because straight from kick-off, I'll just let you watch. Our first attack would be cut out, but Reece Burke would head the ball back forward. Keane Lewis Potter would then have the ball fed through to him. Keane Lewis Potter. Oh, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And Keane Lewis Potter bags us the win at Hillsborough. You absolutely adore to see it. And second half, we absolutely dominated. And the win was very, very much deserved. Anyway, coming up next, we would travel to the Riverside Stadium to face Middlesbrough. Keane Lewis Potter would take the armband for this one, as Brandon Fleming would drop out in place. Max Clark would take his place. There was a lot of fatigue heading into this one, so I had to rotate. That's why McLaughlin was in for Branthwaite, who took the place of Greaves. Clark came back in. Emmanuel came in. And as you can see, all the defensive changes would leave us 1-0 down within 7 minutes. Ashley Fletcher bagged the Borough. The first goal of this encounter between two ex-Premier League sides. I think we're more likely to get there than they are in this career mode. And it would be made 2-0 very, very quickly. Lewis Wing would find Saville. He'd hold the ball up. Go to Johnny Howson. His shot would be blocked. Howson would put it back in for Tuba Akpom, ex-Hull City, of course, to make it 2-0 to Middlesbrough. This first half, we just couldn't defend. I have no idea what was going on, but we just couldn't defend. And you can see here, Akpom would make it 3-0. Fabulous. 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 Cheers, Tuba. But just before half-time, though, we would make a little indent on the lead. Keane Lewis Potter bundled James Scott's header in at the post. I still have no idea what happened here, and I recorded this a solid few weeks ago. But yeah, that's fun. And as the second half got underway, I brought on Antoine Semenyo for Dan Batty, George Honeyman on for Flynn Downs. Semenyo and Branthwaite on for Reece Burke. He'd run through them all, would Antoine Semenyo, and that would be 3-2 pretty much instantly. That's what we needed. We got the goal at the end of the first half. We got the goal at the start of the second. And they just start flowing now. Keane Lewis Potter squares it to Malik Wilks after a Middlesbrough defensive mistake in which Semenyo and Byrne picked up the pieces and Lewis Potter found Malik Wilks to get us back on level terms for the first time since the 6th minute of since the 6th minute of the game. Jack Byrne would find Malik Wilks. Wilks would be sort of strutted out a little bit, he'd find Semenyo, who'd be brought down for a penalty in the 72nd minute by Dale Fry. Definitely a penalty. You don't need to see a replay of that. And Keane Lewis Potter would take it and score it as well. Keano at the double now in this game. Excellent. And that's where the footage started jumping again. But it's alright. It doesn't last for long. Trust me. Akpom finds wing over the top for a somber longer save. But Saville puts it in. Peg back again. However, we do it again. Straight from kickoff. Semenyo on a mazy run. It bounces very, very luckily, I must admit, to Keane Lewis Potter. And having been 3-0 down, we turned it around to make it 5-4 in our favour. Keane Lewis Potter with a match ball. You love to see it. And swiftly moving on to the next game. Huddersfield at the Kirklees, John Smith's, whatever you want to call it, stadium. Antoine Semenyo, who's made all the difference off the bench in these last few games, gets a start in this one and bags himself the opener in this game. Jack Byrne driving forward now in the 23rd minute, plays it to James Scott. Scott down the left of this 4-4-2, cuts inside, keeps going, cuts back out and finishes into the far corner on his left foot. Excellent. These first 25 minutes of this game, we were so far clear. So far clear of what Huddersfield could offer. And we wouldn't stop there, no. James Scott, he'd turn his way in between two. He'd keep going, he'd keep running. He'd find Antoine Semenyo, who'd cut past Christopher Schindler and make it 3-0. Brilliant finish into the bottom corner there. And doing the Wayne Rooney tribute with that celebration. Maybe him and one of his ex-teammates, or just another footballer had a boxing match in their kitchen as well. And in the second half, we'd have to wait until the 78th minute for the next goal. Keane Lewis Potter. Oh, that is excellent. That is absolutely excellent from Keane Lewis Potter to make it 4-0. And then we would lose the clean sheet to Hogg, not Didi, in the last few minutes, but I don't particularly mind. The next game, though, I stupidly forgot to press record until the 85th minute, so these are all the goals in the win against Peterborough at the KCOM Stadium. Semenyo gave us the lead in the 6th minute before Mo Issa levelled it for Peterborough. Jack Byrne would then give us the lead back in the 60th minute with this cheeky little finish, and then he would compound Huddersfield's misery with another goal in the 63rd. Brilliant finish from Jack Byrne. In the 80th minute, Keane Lewis Potter would bag a goal. Semenyo charging forward would cut back. KLP would finish off the chance. And then in the 86th minute, Johnson Clark Harris would give Peterborough a consolation to make it 4-2. Next up, though, Stoke at the KCOM. See the teams there, they've got Josh Tyman still playing for them at left wing back. First chance would come from a Stoke corner, which Semenyo would head clear. Jack Byrne with a brilliant turn finds Keane Lewis Potter running through past Kevin Vimmer, one-on-one with Bursic. Keane Lewis Potter does not miss chances like that. Definitely not. Him and Semenyo celebrate. James Scott joins in as well. Just on the stroke of half-time, though, Stoke would come forward with Josh Tyman finding Tyrese Campbell. Campbell would go back to Tyman. Tyman with a cross. Branthwaite would head straight back to a Tabo, and Sorensen would make it 1-1 just on the stroke of half-time. Not ideal at all. But we'd come back. We are Hull City. We'll fight till the end. Keane Lewis Potter to Brandon Fleming. He finds Antoine Semenyo. about 40 yards from goal. Semenyo misplaces his pass but picks it back up, plays through Keane Lewis-Potter, who squares it to Jack Byrne. And there you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Jack Byrne with the goal. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And it wouldn't stop there. Oh, no, would it stop there. Wilkes finds Semenyo. Semenyo charges forward. Still going Antoine Semenyo. He squares it to KLP, who just taps it in. He passes it into the net. He plays a little 1 yard pass in the centre of midfield to put it in. Absolutely fantastic. Next up then, we travel to St Andrews to take on Birmingham City. Now, our first attack would come from a goal kick, in fact. Long would find Branthwaite. He'd find Max Clark. He'd play it through to Jack Byrne. Byrne with a cutback. He'd find Keane Lewis-Potter, who'd chip it up. He'd round his man. He'd keep going. And it's a brilliant finish from 25 yards out from Keane Lewis-Potter. And does that celebration. Of all celebrations to do after that, he does that. Whatever. Max Clark skins one, keeping the ball in the air. Bang, 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 bang. He's going through the entire team, Max Clark. Max Clark, that is absolutely naughty from you. In his first season returning to Hull, him and Brandon Fleming, they're vying week in, week out for that left-back spot. Max Clark bags the goal to give us a 2-0 lead, to double our advantage at St Andrews in the Midlands. Birmingham would come back though. Halilovic would beat Reece Burke. He'd find Riley McGree just after half time to make it 2-1 to us. Birmingham would half the deficit. And here, this game was so even. And either team could have got the next goal, but it would be Birmingham who would get it. Sunjic would find Halilovic. He'd go back to Sunjic. He'd find Riley McGree. McGree would go back to Sunjic, to Curlin, to McGree. Curlin making the run back in field. It would be utilised. The ball would be deflected out to him. And that would be the equaliser for Birmingham. They battled back from 2 down to make it 2-2. And this game was, as I said, very, very even. And we couldn't finish on that though. We couldn't finish on a draw which felt like a defeat. We have to go to play Portsmouth. Jack Byrne down there. But Semenyo would turn him and the defender to make it 1-0. And that will be the only goal of this game. Byrne would have to come off actually, and I can tell you that he did his ACL. But it wouldn't matter because both of those games just decided not to save, which was fun, and they both ended in 1-1 draws. So we got out of that one, not losing our highest rated player, but we lost 3 points. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I'll see you later. Hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.